there has been some roads being laid down. And what we've been discussing with the leadership team is how we can actually as well and work with you to get these projects finished with the infrastructure. When we talked in the first meeting, we spoke with you about some of the fundraisers that we need to be doing to raise money for the infrastructure. So we want to just kind of get some answers as to what's going on with the road, what's going on with the electricity, notices and poles are up. So not to just ask questions, but to basically get an update from you as to what's going on now and what you are projected to do in the future. And what do you see us fitting in to assist with you on that?
So that's good, and you are all welcome to the parish. It's been a very challenging time for all of us getting some infrastructures in place. So first of all, I started with electricity to try to get power to the site. So those who have already built their houses can be connected to the national grid, so that life will be easy for them. And it took quite a long time, but eventually we have done it. I'm told there's power at the site, and people who are interested are now making up to the site. So that is the first part of it. We still will have to add on some more of the posts as people put inside the place so that we can send the power to all the other places. That aside, we need to do the road, the streets and the other road, especially the main road linking the site. Right? You all notice that there's this stream that is an obstacle that we need to bridge it before we can do whatever. So about 3 weeks ago or something, 2 weeks ago, we started the construction of that bridge. And, so we've done the bridge, but it has to mature before they can fill up the approaches and also do proper roading to the site. So they will be coming back maybe next week to finish that one. When that is done, we will all have access to the place. It's going to be a very nice street to the place. At least for now, before we think of making it sealed up, we'll determine later on. But at least we want an access road to the place so that people can bring materials and things to the site. But it's all coming with a cost, really. With electricity, I spent quite a lot of money bringing the electricity. What I wanted to discuss with you, the executives, is that now that the power is at the site, people can link, but they have to also contribute a little bit for us to recover some of the monies so that we can reinvest into other areas. So I wanted to discuss with you the levels. I was thinking of $100 if you want to connect. Yeah, so we can discuss that one. For the road,
When you mentioned the $100, what would the $100 be for?
that is, you are connecting it from the main, from the line to your house. Yes, to your house. Yes, and then the electricity corporation will also, I think they have some fees that they also take to put in the meter. So let me say this: if you want to connect, I don't think you should talk. You have to inform the electricity corporation. They will send their technical people to the site, assess your house, and then they will provide you with the meter and then link you up. But because this power thing was put there not by the government, by me, spending some money there, I need to recover some of the money so that I can put it back into other. So that's why the $100. I don't know how much the electricity corporation will ask. So we need to factor all that. But ordinary, even if you are in town here and you wanted to connect, you have to pay that fees before you are connected. So that is it. And for the road, initially I've invested about Ghana cedis. I've paid about 25,000 Ghana cedis now to get the roads done. Yeah. So for that one, we can't recover the money because you can't say when people are driving on the road, they should pay something. No, I don't think we can do that. For the electricity, you can do it. You can figure out how much you can. You see, the thing is, all this infrastructure is the duty of the government. The government and the regional authorities. But I've tried my best to get them involved to put this infrastructure in place, but I'm not succeeding in doing so. So I thought we cannot just leave it like that. I have to start something, and then if they see that we are working on it ourselves, probably we will get the necessary help. Yeah, so all the monies that are put there, electricity and it's not coming from the government, it's coming from me, from the traditional council. So that is it. And, probably, and I saw your what I mean on your WhatsApp. I realized that you made an attempt to raise some funds to support it, and I thought that was a good idea. And we shall see what contribution we can make. My next thing is that next 2 weeks when we're going to have the festival, we are talking to the regional minister. We were trying to get the president to come to do the sword cutting, right? President is not in the country. There are some difficulties in getting him, but I understand the regional minister will be available. So we're trying to do the sword cutting officially so that it will be covered by the press and so on, and government will now know exactly what is going on in there, so that probably they will come in to support us. So on the 26th, when we have the festival, we will do the sword cutting there, I think early in the morning before we do the festival. So the minister will come and do that. I think when she comes and performs the sword cutting activities, she will brief the president about what we've done, and other government officials will come. So they will exactly see what is happening there, and I'm sure government will work with us. I also know that Rabbi Cohen is also dealing with the same issues, trying to get us support, because they have a committee which is a co-chairman with the finance minister, but because of the difficulties that the finance minister finds himself, they are unable to meet to discuss. But I understand the Pan-African Village is on the agenda for discussion, serious discussion for support. But just that the minister is very busy with national issues, and they haven't been able to meet. Cohen spoke to me this morning and briefed me about it. But I'm going to have a meeting with him after we finish with you. We're going to have a meeting with him for us to see the way forward, how we can get the government to support this. There are other issues probably we cannot discuss, but when we meet with the government officials, we will do that. My aim is to make sure that anybody who has a plot here can be supported to do his building, have a comfortable place to stay, and all the other documentations from the government side to make your stay in Ghana easy. We will also try to work on those documents. The next thing is that, we took the land, and there were a lot of farmers there who were already working. They have some crops there, but I have to pay them off so that we can have the place to live. I realized that I need to do a little bit more to support them. Even though I pay them, I pay everybody their contribution, but I want to set up a fund to support the education of their kids, their wards, their children. And I will launch that during the festival. I'll put in some money to support the children of the farmers who were there, so that we can support the education. And I just wanted to bring to your notice, this is not compulsory, and anybody who also want to contribute to the fund, I will appreciate it, so that together we we can build a fund and we can set up a small committee to manage the fund in order to take care of the children of the people who were working there. I mean, that I think will bond us, will bring us much closer to society.
Is this someone our secretary can work with as well with your people? So because our secretary and our team are raising funds as well, and for us to be a part of that fundraiser, is it possible for our treasurer to work with?
Yeah, that would be good. Because on that committee, I'm looking at maybe 2 or 3 people, small committee that can manage the fund for the kids. So yes, why not? If we bring the people, they can be. I want them to be involved so that they know what we are doing with it. So that will be fine. Yes, please.
We would like to be more effective in our initiating progress into this project. And we sent you a letter that outlining, everything that, we would like to do and the things that we require to move forward.
Yeah.
And we listed all of the names of all of the leadership on that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have made more than one copy,
Yeah.
And hand some of the copies to your people as well.
Yeah.
Because some of your people, don't want to work with the leadership of the Plot Holders Association.
Mm.
And that causes problems. And we need, we need the database, of, in order to move forward, we need to have all of us plot holders get together so that we can, initiate funds. It's going around the world right now that there's a communication problem with this project.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing for me,
Yeah.
because there's many people, that there's been in the cracks. They paid their money for a plot and it seems that they were just forgotten about. And we have the skill set, people with the skill set, to rectify the problem. And all we've been asking for the longest is a list of those people, plot holders' names and their contact information, because all of us that's in the Plot Holders Association leadership, it's not for profit, for us. We're not making any money. We're not soliciting money, for private use. We're not trying to earn money by selling land or anything like that. We have other people selling land, and they're raising the price that you set so they can make money. We're not doing that, but that's okay. I have no problem with that. Only thing, as a member of the Plot Holders Association leadership, only thing we need is the name of the people that you sold the plot to, their contact information, so that we can greet them, and let them know that there's an infrastructure that's available to support them, and that will bring more resources, financial resources into this project that will, because the Ghanaians in the community is gonna do all the work, they're gonna make all the money, whether it's infrastructure, building structures, or whatever, and the leadership of the Plot Holders Association is not for profit. We're not trying to make money. We're not making any money. Only thing we're doing is we volunteer to move this project forward, but we just seems like we just can't get what we need. In our letter, we asked, that our contact information be put on the website, the asebuman.com website. Just that alone, will give people that's, another avenue to call instead of trying to get in contact with Kwame Ntoto or Mr. Obed, who is frequently unavailable.
Okay. When you said my people, who are you referring to?
Well, I was told by the office right here, that I'm not gonna work with you. I said, why? What have I ever done to you? And I got no answer.
Okay. So I thought that we are making some progress with communication, and that's why we set up this secretariat to deal with all this. I think we have the list of all those who have acquired plots at the place. We have the list, and we continue to compile the list to add on to that list. I will check that one. But
Our secretaries have been trying to get in contact with your secretary.
Yeah.
They haven't been successful with getting a communication going between her and us to get the information that we need.
Okay, so if you let me know what kind of information you want, we'll have that discussion.
Mainly what Navigate mentioned, just the names of the individuals and contact information. So that way,
Okay,
we can
but
sensitize up.
you also have your WhatsApp, and you have all the people who have learned on the WhatsApp. Is that not good enough?
Everyone that
Well-
bought bots,
Yes.
you know, as soon as we get their contact information, then their number should be put on the WhatsApp.
Yeah.
We don't need, we have barely 100 people on the WhatsApp.
Okay.
You know, and it's more than 100 people
Yeah,
that have
more
acquired
than that.
bots. But
Okay.
we don't have those contacts.
Right.
Those contacts have been dropped in the cracks, you know, they've been, you know, they feel like they've been forgotten about, so the rumors are going around, you know, the diaspora around the world that we have a communication problem with the bandits.
Okay. Yes.
Just a follow,
Yes.
in regards to the information from the Secretariat, I have made purchase or paid my monies from last September, and I came here in end of April expecting to have documentation so I can be assisted at the immigration. And to date, I cannot get a status as to any document that would support. I was told verbally that I can go ahead and do what I need to do, but you know, coming from my background, I'd love to have something. Yeah.
September. Which September?
Last year.
Last year September.
Yes.
It's a year now.
Yes.
It's a year now. I'm wondering why you haven't gotten it, because I've signed all the indentures. I think I'm up to date with all the indentures. The last, so you can check from Secretariat. It should be there. It should be done. Because the last one I did about 2 years ago, there were about 19 or 20 indentures that I've signed. So those are the latest ones that we have. All the backlogs, we've cleared everything. So just contact Secretariat and check why not. And if it's not there, you work on it.
One of the concerns that have been brought to the people is the indentures
Yeah.
and the fact that you can't register the land individually in your name right now. Some people are not concerned about that, but there are many that are concerned about it. It was brought to the Lands Commission. Certain people had went to the Lands Commission and brought the indentures there in hopes of getting the land registered, only to find out that the indentures need corrections. So my question is, will there be any new changes as far as the indentures being able to be registered individually, or will it remain the way that it is?
Okay. I think I've explained this several times. We needed to get the plan of an African village approved by the district assembly here. When that is done, they will send it to Lands Commission. Because as we speak now, we haven't sent any information to Lands Commission. So, so if you go there and you say you want to register your plot, they will tell you they don't know the plot. They can't locate the plot. So they cannot do the registration for you as individual. But we are working on it from the district. The plans are with them, and they are. It goes through some processes to get it registered. So they are working on it. As soon as that is done, I have gone to the Lands Survey Department. It's not even Lands Commission, it's Survey Department who will authorize the registration in individual's name. I've gone there myself, interacted with the officials there, and they've told me what we should do to make it easier for individuals to do it. So it's taken some time, but it's not our fault. It has to go through the bureaucracy for them to do the approval from the district. And then they will send it to the region. And then when that is done, it's only when that has been done that you can register the land in your name.
Okay.
So we are working on it.
Okay. And the reason why I asked these things Your Majesty, is because, like I said, it was brought by some people's attention. Some of the younger generation, they have more concerns about it, and even some of the wording in the indenture, like 55 years.
Yeah.
And as a non-citizen, you can only lease land for 50 years as a Ghanaian, 99 years if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken, rather. So they want to know when this does happen, will there be new indentures that will be given out when this does take place?
No, you take your seat. As for the 55 years, here we have 99 years and 55 years.
Yes.
99 years for Ghanaians, for residential purposes, 99 years. For industrial purposes, it's 55 years for Ghanaians. And then for residential purposes, for people who are not Ghanaians by birth, right, it's 55 years. This is statutory demand. It's not from us, it's from the government. Yeah. So even if you put 99 years and you take it for registration at the Lands Commission, they will not do it. They will bring it down to the 55 years. But the good thing is that after the 55 years, you will only renew the agreement, the indenture. You will renew it, and nobody will take your land from you, even
Your house.
yeah, after 55 years. I mean, they do it for all of us. At 99 years, I have to go and renew my indentures with the government. So all those are just for government documentation purposes, and no government official will come and say your tenancy has expired, and so you need to, but you need to enter into another 55 years. So you do that forever. I mean, every 55 years you just have to renew your indenture. So this is it's a demand from the government. It's not from us.
The government, that's common law. Does common law supersede customary law? Because you gifted us the land, right?
Yes.
So you know the only people way you can own land in Ghana if you are married into the family, or if the land was gifted to you, according to my research.
Yeah.
And does that gifted land apply to residents and Ghanaians and non-Ghanaians?
Yes. Look, when we started the whole process, there was this discussions on the indenture. Okay. Initially, I was hesitant. I was not very ready to issue indentures because I knew if I issue indentures, it introduced some complications for me. Because if I say I've given you land for free, you don't need indenture to cover that. You need the traditional right, performance of traditional right, and that is good enough. And nobody, for instance, if I give you one plot and you come to my parish with a bottle of some drinks, okay, and then I also bring some witnesses, people around, and say that yes, they agree that they are witness to this, that I have given you this, it's as good as anything. And in that case, there will be no need for 55 years and all that. Okay, but I realized that people were not understanding that issue. They were a bit confused about the whole thing. So they were demanding indentures, and they brought a lot of pressure on me to provide indentures. I said, okay, if that's what you want, we will do it for you. If you are talking about indentures, then government comes in. Okay, if I was doing the traditional thing, no government official will come in and say anything, and they will allow me to do what I want. And it's as good, and they accept it, that traditionally, this is what I've done, and nobody will challenge it. But so long as it's indenture, it's official documentation that we are doing, then we have to follow the guidelines provided by the government to do it. That's the reason why these 55 years and so on were in the document. Or otherwise, if it's free, in Ghana we have a lot of free people who have been given land either to their children, to their spouses and so on, free, and there are no documentation on it. Just that maybe a piece of paper to say that this land was given to these people for these reasons, and then that's it. Yeah.
Can we go back to the infrastructure, part of it again, because that was the most important thing to our team. We want to speak to you about Hector. We know that you met with him before and spoke with him, and we've spoken with him as well. So we want to know if you were working with him, because we wanted to work with him as well as far as getting the infrastructure process moving forward.
Yeah, I remember you said this so long ago, some time ago, but I haven't had any interaction with you any longer. Because we haven't actually started the major infrastructure work there. And when we were doing the what do you call it, the power thing, we brought in the experts. The company themselves came to do that one. So that was coming from them. And then they have their own contractors, so they suggested the contractor to do the job. So it was done by them. But if after this, if we want to do the main thing, if we are going to do it, then we can ask Hector or somebody who knows about technical things to do it. But if the government comes in itself, the government will bring its own contractors to do it.
I was the one who was working with Hector
Okay.
at that time.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, but now, I don't think it's best to work with him because we would be better working with, like you said, with the government, so we can get some help. Because this building road is a costly thing. So you know, and plus I spoke to the government official, you know, KK, and he gave me some good advice. If he wants to do the road, we'll talk to him, and he will help by talking to these government people, and so that we can get the road built without it costing us an arm and a leg.
Actually, I've sent a letter to the president about some 3 weeks ago, booking an appointment with him, but I haven't had a response from him. And if I do, I will go with you, at least the executives of this team. If I get the green light for us to go to the president, I'll go with you so that we can explain not only the infrastructures here, but also other things that are worrying the people who are coming in here, so that we can have him and then we can explain our problems to him to understand. But I'm waiting for his reply, for a date for us to do that. So we will do that. And for the road, like you said, if we are prepared, and of course, if we are able to generate our own funds, if we have our own money, then we can work with Hector or any other person we want. But if it's the government that is coming to do it, then the government will bring its own technical people to do it.
Yes, whether it's the government or a private contractor, you know, we do need the civil engineer, you know, to structure some areas on the site, you know, because of the water, you know, during the rainy season, the water comes, and if we can get a civil engineer to channel that water, you know, into a man-made lake, that would enhance the place, and they have to get that water someplace to go, and you know, you can kill 2-3 birds with one stone with the right civil engineer, you know, and but it's going to take either the government coming in here, you know, helping us out, or we're going to have the funds to do this. And like I said, in order to have the funds, you know, we got to be able to contact all the plot holders and apologize to them, you know, do some public relations, you know, get them feeling good about the project again. And we have the people with that skill set. We have the people that can do this, you know, and we just don't have the information that we need at the time. And we're still trying to get, you know, that, you know, as much of the database as we can so we can get busy. You know, only people that we're collecting donations from right now is the few people that volunteer that's on our Zoom, our WhatsApp, you know, and most of them haven't donated. You know, it's only a handful of people that have donated so far, you know, to that. But, you know, once we get, you know, get our contact information on the asebumind.com website. We have our own website, but you know, we're gonna put the asebuman.com on our website, and, but we would like to have our contact information on that website, so they can have someone that's on the ground, you know, that can assist them, you know, immediately.
Okay. So after the meeting, I will also meet with the staff here and then we see how we can marry the two. Whatever information you need, I'll discuss with them to see how we can make it.
Your Majesty, if God forbid, if something happened to you, you were called home early, what would happen with all of us?
Nothing will happen to you.
The indentures and everything still stays in place?
Yeah, it's as good as if I am there myself.
Okay.
Now, according to my research, you know, if you're on the land and no one complains about you being on the land, asking for any money or anything like that, you know, and after 12 years, you know, according to customary law, you have squatters' right.
No, it's not even that. You see, it's like this is a system you are running,
Mm-hmm.
and this system have succession plan. We have succession. People will come and people will go, right? Yeah. So there's a system in place so that when I'm not there, the next person coming will not undo what I've done. He has no right to do so. Yeah. We just have to improve on what I've done. Okay, so if I'm not there and he comes and finds you there, he cannot say that you guys should move or something. He can't do it. And so there's no fear for whatsoever. Whether I'm here or not, I'm not there. Yeah. I could even be here and for some reason I say that okay, I want to step aside and somebody should take my seat or something. It's not likely, but it's an example. Even if that happens, what I've done will still stand. Nobody can change it.
The point I was trying to make is that, you know, we don't have to, you know, be sitting on 55 years, you know, through an indenture,
Yeah.
you know, through customary law. After 12 years,
Yeah.
we can't be pushed off our land.
No.
You know, it's shorter than 55 years. So we got double protection.
Yeah.
We got customary law and common law protection. You know, and after 55 years, if you don't renew your indenture, you're still okay.
It's okay. You see, and again, apart from even the customary laws and all that, this country is also a country with laws and regulations. Okay, so that no government will also sit down for anybody to do things that will tarnish the image of the country. So, I mean, there are several things, rules governing settlement and so on. So, nobody can do things like that.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
I know I don't have 55 years to live, so
You will
and I
never know.
will.
Never know. Come on now, 120.
I will my land,
Genesis
my
6:3.
house,
Yeah.
and everything that I own in Ghana
Yeah.
to my children.
Yes.
So they will continue as I am.
Sure.
So that will be
Sure.
Yes.
You just probably, yeah, that's administrative things. You have to just say that this is my next of kin.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
it continues.
But you do a will. I have a lawyer and I do a will.
Yeah, you
So
do
they
a will.
come
Yes,
and they can, you know,
Yes.
do as I am.
exactly.
Continue
Yeah.
where I left off.
Yes.
Wow.
And they will be good.
That will be good.
Okay. And then they can renew and
After
on and on.
55 years.
Okay. Okay. So I have a route here, so my grandchildren can it could go on and on,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Good. Okay. Thank you.
So, I'd like to speak on this whole matter of infrastructure. I'm from the island, and I'm from the country part of the island, and I've seen agricultural land, I've seen rivers, streams, and I've seen sinkholes. From what I notice on the map here, there is no through stream or river at Asebu, and I am taking it that there is a aquifer or sinkhole that accepts that bulk of water that comes down. Based on what I have seen is that it seems like all plot owners will hire a excavator to push a bulk of debris and earth in a certain areas. Are there any guidelines for plot owners to ensure that they will not disrupt the natural flow of water and then cause problem elsewhere?
I'm not a technical man so far as infrastructure and things are concerned. But what I know is just that all the contractors look at the terrain, right, what they are building, and ensure that they will not block waterways, and ensure that those runoffs can have a place to go and sink and that kind of thing. Yeah, so that is taken into consideration. And again, when we begin to do the roads, there are provisions to have drainage system that will carry off the rains. Yeah. So probably from my layman's point of view, that's only explanation I can give you. But yes, one is that because if you travel around the country, there are several areas like that, green areas like this, but they put the infrastructure in place so that they can drain off the water when it comes and so on. We have one stream, just entering the place, we have a stream. Yes, and that is why we are bridging it so that we can have access to it. That stream collects water from other parts of the thing and then drains off. So we have to protect that stream, make it flow nicely, and then we integrate it into our design so that it can create a very nice.
I
So
think
that's it.
Anna,
As a follow-up,
that's true.
as a follow-up, so then can the infrastructure committee, be empowered to police that aspect of it? And that comes right back to what my brother said, to get the information from the secretariat as to the different plot holders.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
no,
I was just saying, yeah, that stream, it's like a river, and that would take the water. I think it comes.
Like a river, it's a river.
Okay, it's a
coming
river.
from down off there, yes.
So that's in our favor
Yeah.
to lead the water away,
Yeah.
just by fitting culvert and things like that in the infrastructure. Yeah. So
Okay.
that was all.
It was a question someone asked online. Two questions. One was, ask the family going to court or litigation, saying some of the land as theirs, to put the red signs all around. How long is it going to take for him to register part so we can register our plots? That was one question. Then another question that someone asked online is, I know you just answered some of that question already. And another question someone asked is, can you sign? Hold on, let me read it verbatimly. I don't want to jack their question up. It said, can you find out why? No. What did it say? Can you find out why we can't sign for the someone indenture now because we used to sign for them? Now Florence saying we can't. I have a few people I have to pick up their indenture, and she is hindering me from getting their indenture. So that's two questions right there. And someone else said that in the chat, that's why we need civil engineer like Hector to balance out the land.
For the indenture, I have to find out from Forest why, but I have no idea. I mean, if somebody is in, say, in the US or in UK and asks someone to pick the farmer, I don't think he should stop from picking it. Just that he has to sign that I have picked it. If you can check his identity, and that's fine. But I need to check that one.
Yes.
With the people who want to go to court, I mean, we can allow them to go to court if they want to. But the simple reason is just that the land belongs to the school. I mean, it's for the school.
Yes.
And we have people who are working on, like all the farmers who were there. Nobody is raising issues with exception of maybe one or two. and we've paid them off, and everybody understands that the land belongs to the school, and so there's no problem with that. But those who are saying that we have some family lands there, they are not saying that they don't want the project to go on, right? They want some compensation. And
Yes.
I want to be sure, 100% sure, that this portion belongs to this family, so that I can pay the appropriate compensation to the family. Okay?
Yes.
I cannot just say, you come and tell me that's my piece of land and I give you money. No. You can't do that. And all others will come in and say the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so I want to be sure whom I'm dealing with. And you should produce document to tell me how you got the place, because the whole place belongs to the school.
Yes.
And then you have a portion of it. You have to demonstrate to me how.
You have to prove that.
You got it, and then I will deal with you. Okay. So the thing is, and the good thing is that I'm saying that they are not against the project there.
Yes.
They want some compensation. We will
Okay.
pay them compensation if we are convinced
Yes.
that the place is for them, and we will deal with them.
Understood.
And if we are generating the economic resources like I know we can, if we get the tools that we need to use,
Yeah.
then, that would alleviate some of that problem as well.
Yeah.
Because we can have a community, outreach fund, out of the resources that we can acquire,
Yeah.
because the leadership is not in it. This is nonprofit for us, and the leadership will change every year.
Yeah.
So we want to bring the economic resources here. The only way we can bring those resources, we got to be able to ask for them.
Yeah.
And we need the information of those that have plots, in order to ask them, and then we can allocate funds, and then we can have fundraisers, we can have general tax, we can have donations. There's all kinds of ways, that our people, with this skill set can get funds. But we need that basic database first.
Okay. Good. Let me just think some example. You see the new factory name built up there.
Yes.
Yeah. Your question. I'm just no yourself.
Yes. Yes.
That factory there. Somebody went to court and said some piece of land is for him, and the case went on, and the court said to him, the land belongs to the chief, to the king,
Yes.
and so you have no case.
Yes.
Right? Yes. So the case was thrown out of court. And,
Okay.
he has to even pay compensation to me for taking the traditional council to the court.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wasting your
so,
time.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I cannot give plots to people that I know doesn't belong to me. I don't have control to do so. I think it would be very bad to
come
do
back
so.
at you.
Yeah, but people can do all sort of things and can say all sort of things. Yeah, but if it becomes crucial, I mean, if he's interested and wants to challenge it, he should go to court and let's see what the court will say. Okay.
Yes.
If he has document to back his demand for his claim, that's fine. I mean, when the court says that I should do, I will do it. I mean, we want the progress of our terrorist area. We want
Yes.
to develop the terrorist area.
Yes.
Everybody will have to agree, because some people will suffer for what we are doing. Look at, we have about 440 people or so, or only more than that, 40 farmers. Yeah, and I've paid thousands of cities to them for their crops that we've removed.
Yes.
And so, and just about one or two people who are complaining about that place. So we'll
Yes.
deal with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And moreover, please, we have involved the police also. So anybody who come there and harass you,
Yeah,
we
we
just
arrest
deal
them.
with him.
Yes.
So you shouldn't entertain any fear.
Yeah. There are people who want to do some criminal activities, come in there, put red flags and so on.
Mhm.
I went to the police and the police have warned them never to step there again to do that kind.
Mhm.
If they have any problem, they should go to court or
Yes.
they should
Yes.
come to the police. Yeah, so we are dealing with all fronts.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one point again about accepting indentures for others. I had a friend of mine who got some allocations. He's from the US, and basically what he did, he sent an email confirmation to Florence,
Yeah.
giving permission we need to pick up those vacation papers,
Yeah.
which I think, that is probably the correct way
To go.
to,
Yes, yes.
you know, covering Florence as well, because someone
Yes.
could come in and say,
Yeah.
who told you to give them
Mm.
to that person?
Mhm.
Yes.
So I think, you know, they should be